Dory, you are about to find your parents. And when you do that, you'll be
Home.
Out of the blue, Dory's memory is triggered and she suddenly remembers her parents. So she, Marlin, and Nemo go to a California aquarium to search for them. The good. There's plenty of comedy to go around in this movie, and a lot of it feels very organic and character-driven rather than being there just to be hijinks. Some of the comedy of the movie does fall under that category, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, especially considering that in the case of this movie, it's still funny all the way through. But, in true Pixar fashion, there are tender moments when it's needed. The story arc experienced by Dory in this movie is very touching, and surprisingly, it carries the movie very well. I wasn't totally sure whether Dory would be able to pull it off considering her role in Finding Nemo. She did have a few good emotional moments in that movie, but she was mostly comedic relief. And the fact that they were able to make a movie that gave most of its focus to Dory and create a story like this with this kind of emotional tone to it was very impressive. This movie pays decent homage to Finding Nemo without standing on its shoulders in order to boost itself up. Yes, the plot of this movie does revolve around its characters trying to find someone, but the bulk of the stuff that was pulled from Finding Nemo or strongly resembled Finding Nemo took place mostly near the beginning of the movie, while the rest of it felt sufficiently distinct. The iffy. This movie's plot is a little erratic in that it goes off in a lot of different directions. I feel like the main objective is always in sight no matter what, but at the same time there is a lot about this movie that feels like it's getting sidetracked. From a storytelling 101 sense, that might sound like a problem, but then when you get to thinking about it, this is a movie about Dory we're talking about, so in a way it kind of fits. There are a few characters in Finding Dory that feel like they're just there to fill a specific role, but very little about them makes them feel distinct. Not to say I can't get behind what these characters are about or that they detract from the movie experience, because they don't. In some cases it just kind of feels like they're there. The bad. There were some notable moments throughout the film where I feel like a character could have made a better decision at a certain moment, or there was a certain direction the storytelling was going that I think would have been better if it had gone a little bit of a different direction. Other than that, the most scathing thing I can really say about this movie is that the notes that it hit were hit better in Finding Nemo. The verdict? Finding Dory didn't quite stack up to the bar set by Finding Nemo, but that doesn't mean it was a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. It was a lot of fun. It was really funny throughout the entire runtime, touching where it needed to be. I think it was definitely worth making, and I'm glad I saw it. This is Detective Steve, and if they want to turn this into a trilogy, they better get Finding Marlin into development right now.